Today's hairstyle is a French fishtail pinned bun, and this is what it looks like. You can, falling over, you can very easily add decorations to this style if you would like to, or you can leave it plain. And the other note for this video is the cat is not happy that I am not stroking her, so she keeps meowing. I'm very sorry. Okay, we are going to start with a French fishtail braid. In order to do this, I'm going to start by doing a couple of turns of a normal 3-strand braid, because otherwise you end up with a parting and I don't want one. Then we are going to split it into just 2 sections instead of 3. You switch one little strand from one side to the other, then add a strand from here to this side. Then you do the same, but you don't take from the sections, you take from the scalp. So scalp hair to this side, scalp hair to this side. Then we switch back to the sections. Section to the other side, section to the other side. And then the scalp hair. You just alternate through until you run out of scalp hair. Okay? I will turn around and I will show you that. Okay, so I have added all of my scalp hair, and you will notice that there's actually 4 fingers I can get below the bottom of the plait where before it's attached. I'm going to continue to plait, holding my hair upwards instead of downwards. If I was plaiting it downwards like that, I would expect the scalp hair to end up quite tight across here, and we don't want that. So the final scalp sections should be reasonably large and they should be reasonably loose. And I'm going to use not big but not tiny sections for the rest of the the rest of the fishtail section of the braid. So we've run out of French now. All right. Another technique is to plait over your shoulder. This allows for a little bit more give. It will be a skew-whiffed give, which is actually good for what we want. So usually you'd plait down your back as far as you could before bringing it over your shoulder, or actually purposefully doing it the other way. And what you'll find also is that once you've really got started on the fishtail, the sections will kind of form themselves, because they will be the same sections as what you've previously used. I'm just going to move the camera down so I can show you how I do the ends up here. When you get to the stage that you've got not that much hair left, so you've got quite thin ends, I hold on to the section that I'm putting over, split the section I'm adding it to in half, and then repeat on the other side. This makes things a little bit easier, and it means that you're not just going round and round in circles with the same bit of hair, which will result in a very strange looking braid. Towards the end you'll notice that actually there's no difference between a fishtail and a three-stranded plait, so I switched to a three-stranded towards the end. I find that this secures the ends a lot better. Still not far enough down. Yes, Nimue. I'll cuddle you in a minute. Okay, sorry. There I am. I'm going to secure the end with a clear elastic hairband, and then I'll be back. Okay, so I have finished my fishtail braid. It is looser on the right side than the left because I plaited it over my left shoulder. Now what we are going to do is form the bun part of the hairstyle. To start this, what I'm going to do is form a loop with my hair and turn it under to the right. It's quite difficult to explain. I will show you what I mean. Okay, so I've secured that. What's quite important is that you don't secure anything between this loose end and the loop there, because you won't then be able to pull it up on the other side. So I'm going to do the same thing. So it's coming across like this. I'm just going to do that. It's a lot easier to see when it's like this. And I'm going to tuck it underneath. Like so. It's a little bit fiddly. You will find that you are pulling things out of alignment in the plait. The plait won't look quite normal anymore, and that's what we want because that adds to the whole overall kind of chaotic look. You put it a little bit, so I'll show you what the first loop looks like. Okay, and now we have a little tiny bit of hair here. I'm just going to put that around the outside and tuck it in wherever it fits, really. I'm going to loop the end like this, just to make it hide a little bit easier. Now I've got a little bit of extra hair. I am going to just have a look and see where I want that to go. So I'm just looking, it's not quite hidden. Okay, I think I'm going to pull that bit up and pin, and just keep going until you're happy with the result. And I'm going to check that, the front. If you've got bits at the front that aren't quite even, as can happen with a French plait, just give them a little bit of a tug. I'm going to check the back. Now you'll often find that this smaller side well, this end side is a little bit smaller than the other side. If you've got very long hair, you might find that you have enough that you need to loop back round to make it even. But if you don't have quite as much hair as me, or if you have hair like me and it's quite thin, you might find that if you add a couple of flowers or something on that side of the hairstyle, it makes it look a little bit more balanced. But I do find that it stays very well with not very many pins. You do need to be quite careful that you don't put too many in, because the more pins you put in, the more they anchor to each other instead of your scalp hair. And you will find that actually it might be a mess of pins that's attached by only a couple of points. And if a couple of those points fail, it becomes very uncomfortable. So I tend to try and use as few pins as possible and make sure that the hair is well anchored to itself. The French part of the plaiting will help with that, because anchoring to the French part of the plait is more secure than just anchoring to your scalp hair, and it's a lot less painful. Okay, but overall I have worn this hairstyle all day at work and it's been really comfortable, so it's not an issue. It's got a really good weight distribution as well if you've got slightly heavier hair. Alright, so I'm going to adjust the camera so you can see properly. There we go. And I will show you the hairstyle. And I hope that you like it. It is one of the hairstyles that I think is actually a very easy way of making a very complex, pretty looking style. Okay? Happy styling!